Hello citizens and welcome back. The international break is over, which means I am back and we've got an absolute blockbuster this weekend. It's the Manchester derby. It's City against United. This is our match preview, so make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new, hit subscribe and let's jump into it. So derby day, it can always go either way. You don't really know if home team's going to win, away team's going to win. It doesn't really matter. Form means absolutely nothing in this fixture. What I will say is over the last few years, the away team tends to come away with the victory. And that's just the way it's been. But this year, again, there's a few more things going on. I mean, if you look before the international breaks, you know, City were in great form. We've won 5 of our last 6 games. We're unbeaten in all competitions. We're performing well. Haaland is banging in goals for fun. The last game, Grealish and Foden both scored. You know, it was going pretty well for us. If you look at United, you know, they haven't really had a Premier League game for a few weeks because of the passing of the Queen. You know, they got beat by suicidal at home. Then they went away in the next game and won in the Conference League. So form for this one, kind of thrown up in the air a little bit because the international break has just disrupted everything again. So I've not really had the preparation going into this game. And if you look at United as well, you know, new manager, Ten Hag, they've got a bit of resurgence going. So anything can happen in this game. I don't think form matters. I don't think the players on the pitch matter. I think it's just a case of who handles the situation better and, you know, who adapts to the atmosphere and the game overall. And I think whoever does that will win. So, yeah. And if you look at City, you know, it looks like Stones is going to be injured for it. Hopefully everyone else comes back. If you look at our backline defensively, the last few games we've been a bit poor, I'd say. You know, I don't think we've defended quite well. And in this game, if Pep pushes his full-backs in the centre midfield like he's been doing all season, I think we're going to have a bit of a problem because United like to hit on the counter-attack. You know, Ten Hag's got them playing like how they were under Ole for the first 18 months or for his entire tenure, which is, you know, you sit back a little bit and then you hit with pace out wide. You know, you use width, you get forward in numbers, and yeah, you take your chances. And if teams do that against us, they tend to do well against us. You know, Newcastle did it well this season. Villa did it as well, and Palace did it. So, and we've seen over the years anyway, Liverpool will do it to us every single game. Wolves have done it to us in the past. So we are vulnerable at counterattacks. We are vulnerable when teams are coming at us with pace. And I think it all depends who Pep plays on the back four. I think he's going to go with Walker this time. I can't see him playing Stone. Well, Stones is injured. I can't see him playing Cancelo on the right and then, you know, Aki on the left or something like that. I think he has to play Walker in this game for his pace. I know Walker's been fairly poor so far this season for me defensively. I think he's been pretty shocking. And going forward, he's obviously not as good as Cancelo at creating chances, for instance. You know, he bombs forward, he hits the byline, but he hasn't really got that quality in the final third. And again, that's not on him. I've said it before. It's not on Walker. It's on Pep putting him in that position and trying to change his role when he's in his 30s. So nothing wrong with Walker going forward because I don't expect too much from him. But defensively, I think we're right to demand more and expect more from him. And I think he will play right back because, like I said, United will hit us with pace. That's what they're going to look to do. And we're going to have to shut it down. And he's our quickest player. Well, our quickest defender. So we do need him. Centre half, Diaz, Akanji. I have no problem with that. I think Akanji's coming well. I think he's playing well. I think he's suiting the Pep system really nicely. I think he's good on the ball. It looks like he can use both feet. And he's strong as well. I will say he's a bit over physical in the penalty box sometimes. And I think, you know, he's going to have to adapt to the way the Premier League is. But, I mean, I like him so far. I mean, like I said, he's strong. He's tall. He can win a header. He looks pretty fast too. And he's decent on the ball. So if him and Diaz play centre half, I have no problem with that. Like I said, I think Cancelo will be left back. You know, he's one of the most creative fullbacks in the world right now. More so than, I mean, he does more attacking for us than defending. And yeah, I think the way Pep plays and the way Cancelo play, I think that could benefit us against United as well. Because unless United the wingers are willing to trap back, which in the past they generally don't. I know on the Ten Hag he's trying to change that. He's a bit more high pressing, a little bit more pressure on the ball. We'll see, but I think we can get behind United anyway because they've still got that same vulnerable defense. You know, Ten Hag hasn't completely changed that. Now, if you look at the midfield, obviously Rodri I don't think we're the same team without Rodri. De Bruyne, he's on absolute fire at the moment. For us, before the international break, phenomenal. You know, his link-up play with Haaland is getting there. It's not quite, but it is getting there. And if you look at his performance for Belgium in the international break, you know, he's scoring, he's assisting, he's doing everything right still. He's on form, so I think he's going to come into this game. I think he's going to pick up exactly where he left off. Alongside him, I expect Bernardo Silva again, because United have more movement in that midfield now. They're probably going to play Fernandes. They're probably going to play Eriksen. So they've got some danger men. And if they get them on the ball in midfield, they can cause us problems. So I expect Bernardo to play in the centre, not Gundogan, and shut things down. If he plays Gundogan in this game, I think we're going to have more issues against the counter-attack as Gundogan and De Bruyne push further up. Look out wide. I have no problem with Foden. I love Foden. I think he should always be one of the first names on the team sheet. I don't think we're the same team without him. But I like Foden on the left, which means no Grealish on the left. Now, of course, Grealish was suspended for the last England game, so he's had a bit of a break, a little bit of a rest. But I want Foden on that left-hand side. I don't want Grealish. I want Foden. Despite how well I think Grealish did play against Wolves in our last game out in the Premier League. On the right-hand side, you know, Pep likes to throw things in, doesn't he? He likes to change things up a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised, even though he's not really trusted him this season and he's not really, you know, giving him a chance. Mahrez, I expect him to play Mahrez on the right-hand side. I don't know why. Something tells me Mahrez is going to play on the right, and of course, Haaland in the middle. And like I said, this game, throw form out, it doesn't really matter. When we were bad, we used to beat them. Not often, but we did beat them every now and then. So form means nothing. The international break has also disrupted that. United haven't played in the league for a while, so they've not really had that consistent play time or, you know, chance to just keep playing and get more minutes under their legs and get that form going. So, I mean, this could be anything, couldn't it? I expect it to be quite a close affair. You know, I expect City to dominate the ball. But I do expect United to hit us on the counter, and I do think they will look dangerous because I think their forwards this season, they've done all right, and they've looked a lot better than what they did under Rangnick last season or Ole. So United will have chances. They will create chances with our defence, the way they've defended this season so far. It's been hot and cold. You know, they could score a goal or two. And if you look at our season so far, I've said it a number of occasions that we have been hot and cold in games, not just hot one game, then cold another. During games, we've been hot and cold in the same half, you know, where we'll go 20 minutes hot, 25 minutes cold, you know, or even longer against Newcastle, where we were like 10 minutes hot and then 60 minutes cold and then 20 minutes hot, you know, so we've got to get that out of our system. Is this the game to do it? Probably not. Like I said, the players are just getting back together now for training, heading into this game. So, and that's what worries me the most, I think, about this game, because usually I don't really like tough games after the international break because you've not really had, you know, a chance to prepare properly for it. You've been disrupted a little bit. You've been off doing other things. You've picked up niggles in, you know, for your country or something, or you know, you've had a bad performance for your country and you're going to take that into this game. I don't really like international breaks disrupting the season, but at least we're both, you know, we're both going to suffer from that. And like I said, because United haven't played in the Premier League at the moment, you don't really know what team is going to turn up for them. Defensively for them, if you look at Haaland, I think he will cause some problems. There's a lot of talk about how their new centre-half, I don't know his name right now, I can't think of it's gone on my head, but how he, you know, pocketed him in the Champions League or whatever for Ajax against Dortmund. I don't think that matters, because if you look at the City team, we're going to tear them apart once we get going. You know, we're not going to have 90 minutes of cold. We are going to be hot for, even if it's just 20, 30 minutes. If you look at Haaland, he doesn't need many touches. They can pocket him all game they want. But if he has 5-6 touches in the, you know, in their box, he's going to score. He's going to score at least one in 8 touches. And that's how you got to look at it. So I'm not really concerned about him. I'm marking him or putting 2 defenders on him. He's going to have a chance. He's going to have a chance or two. And if you look at the players behind him, Foden, Mahrez, if he plays, De Bruyne, Gundogan, whoever, he's going to get a lot of chances. He's going to get a lot of balls delivered into that box. And if he's in the right place, which he often is, he's going to score. What do I want to see? I want to see him score a hat-trick. I want to see him score 6. But I'd like it if he just gets the winner. And yeah, like I said, I think that's this game. You know, the front 3 is still a question mark for us. The back 4 is a question mark for us. You know, in fact, the whole team's a question mark if you look at it. Because the midfield, you don't really know who's going to play along De Bruyne. The back four, you don't know who's going to play right back or centre half. Front three, you don't know who's going to play. You know, the only one sure is the goalkeeper, De Bruyne, Rodri, and Haaland. They're the only ones you can be sure of in this game that we're going into. But I expect kind of a similar team to Wolves, just swapping Grealish out for Mahrez. That's probably how I see it. Oh yeah, and Stone's coming out. And yeah, that's it. That's my match preview for City against United. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you're going to the game. I'm going. We'll be there on Sunday. So yeah, catch me there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.